YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV back at y'all with another one. So, five-time welterweight world champion, UFC iconic legend TYRON Woodley. He will be going into a highly anticipated showdown, celebrity showdown, with YouTube sensation who turned professional boxer and has a record of 3-0, Jake Paul, this Sunday on the 29th. With that said, they held a press conference, they had a face-off, and it went viral. And obviously, they're going to build up the fight. But one interesting point was brought to me and brought to my attention by a few other people that I'm not going to name, but a few other people brought it to my attention that they are under the belief that Jake Paul allegedly is dealing with performance enhancing drugs, okay? And that Jake Paul is going to have an unfair advantage. Now, this was being brought to me by some very, very credible people. Professional athletes, combat athletes, and a lot of people are suspicious. And they're wondering if they're doing testing for this. So, in the face-off, TYRON Woodley, he must have heard the same news that I was getting. And TYRON Woodley, he tells Jake Paul, he says, speaking of bumps, I see a lot of bumps that developed on your face and on your body. That is usually a result of performance enhancers, allegedly. He says that's a result of performance enhancers. And when he asked Jake Paul, he says, are you dabbling in performance enhancers? Very cool, calm, and collective. And then TYRON Woodley, he says, the outbursts, the energy that you have, he says it's out of character. And that's usually a result of people that are using PhDs. And so Jake Paul, he freezes up. He pauses. And he has a blank look. And then he says, no. Aren't we going to get tested? But he pauses. He hesitates. He didn't immediately respond. The first immediate response was, okay, go ahead, make up excuses for why you're going to lose. So TYRON Woodley, he says, no, I'm not making them excuses. I'm asking you, is this where what are you doing? And he pauses, and he's like, no. And then he goes, oh, we're going to get tested, right? As if they haven't already previously been tested. And so TYRON Woodley says, you sure about that? And Jake Paul goes, he stutters, hesitates. And then TYRON Woodley, he says, maybe you should check some of the people in your circle. Alluding to that he's been privy to some information about Jake Paul. Now, Jake Paul, he's naturally a bigger guy than TYRON Woodley. And Jake Paul, this is the first time he's a professional athlete, okay? Jake Paul is an entertainer. He's a YouTube sensation. He's not a professional athlete. So if this was the case in Jake Paul's background, it wouldn't affect anybody because this is not, he's not a professional athlete in ranking system where he's going to be tested and viewed a certain kind of way. So Jake Paul, he hesitates when TYRON Woodley asks this question. And again, it not shocking, especially in the sport of boxing. In any sport, any professional sport. We've seen professional athletes get tested and test positive for quite a bit of time. Okay? It's normal. And it shouldn't be normal, but it is normal. And so TYRON Woodley, who's a professional athlete, combat athlete, just like a lot of other professional athletes that have brought this to my attention, and they said, just look at his body language. Look how he's reacting. Look how he's he can't control essentially his emotions. And then look at the acne on his back and on his face. It tells the entire story Allegedly. Now, would I be surprised? Absolutely not. And if this is the case, this is to TYRON Woodley. This is on, he has to be held accountable because he should have been asking for stringent testing. I believe the sport of boxing, whether you're a novice, whether you're a contender, whether you're a prospect, whether you're a world champion, whether you're a legend, I think that testing should be 24/7, 365. And it should be random that every professional athlete has to check in. Especially in the sport of boxing. Every athlete should have to check in. And it should be random testing. Just routine. Especially the world champions. Because they pay a sanctioning fee. So all four major sanction bodies, that being the IBF, WBC, WBO, and the WBA, should all have to take a portion, a percentage out of those sanction fees that these fighters are paying, and that should have to go towards them making sure the sport of boxing gets tested 24/7, 365, year-round, random testing. That they could pop up at your front door and ask you for a sample, and if you're not available, well, then you have 48 hours to provide a sample. Right? Now, if you're on vacation, I'm sure if this is 24/7, 365, this means that they're going to have testers pretty much around the world, because the sport of boxing is a global sport. So this means that they're going to have testers around the world. So there should be some sites that these athletes can visit, whether they're on vacation, whether they're at home, no matter where they're at. There should be some sort of testing spots where they can show up and provide a sample. If there's a McDonald's everywhere you go, globally, there could be a testing site everywhere you go, globally. Because this is Olympic style testing, is global. It's for the Olympics, so it's worldwide. Okay? So there should be testing sites globally everywhere that you can at least get to and provide a sample within 48 to 72 hours. So I think that this should be the case, especially dealing with the sport of boxing, because you're talking about fighters, and in this case, even in this case with Jake Paul and TYRON Woodley, they're professional. TYRON Woodley is still a professional athlete. This is still a sport that's very, very risky. Every time you step through the ropes, you're putting it all on the line. So because of that, even on this level as a novice, as a contender, as a prospect, as a title contender, as a world champion, as a legend, an icon, whatever title you may hold, you should all be tested. Because again, the ultimate sacrifice is on the line, which is yourself and your well-being. And so this should be a routine thing globally around the sport of boxing. And the consequences for testing positive should be very stiff. The first time, you should get suspended for at least a year. The second time, you can't compete anymore. Or something like 3-year ban, and then the third time you're done. Because again, you're not hitting a baseball, you're not dribbling a basketball, okay? You're not hitting a hockey puck. Now football is a different story because there is it's a contact sport. So even in football, just like basketball, just like boxing, you're putting it on the line. Any round, any second in a boxing match, it could be very costly. Same as in football. Every play, you can get an injury that could be career changing. So in the sport of boxing, I'm not surprised that this is possibly the case, allegedly, and that a lot of people are raising concerns that Jake Paul is dibbling and dabbling, right? Because Jake Paul he has a motivation to be successful in the sport of boxing, that mindset could warrant such actions. I'm not saying he is. This is all alleged. I'm just saying such a mindset could warrant such actions. And so TYRON Woodley, if this is the case, then this is TYRON Woodley's fault for them not having strict testing, because TYRON Woodley should be aware, like Jake Paul said, we are getting tested, aren't we? So that lets you know that they haven't been tested yet. So are they going to wait to test them after the fight? Because the fight is in less than 48 hours now. So if he hadn't already been tested, well, he ain't going to get tested no time soon. So when he's going to get tested? After the fight? So I'm sure there's going to be some testing. I'm sure that this is going to pick up steam, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. This is all alleged on my part. But TYRON Woodley, he says, look at your body language. Look at your actions recently. Look how you responded. Look at the bumps and the acne that you have going on. Those are usually results of dibbling, dabbling, allegedly, in performance enhancers. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather the Heat Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.